We have a special editions of Beyond the Lanes today. I would like to thank everybody out here that's watching live on Facebook. This is a presidential show for us. It's the first one of one, where we are live. We are live through all Facebook. We have a special guest in the building today. But first, I want to get to my sidekick that's holding it down with me. State your name, please.
Well, they call me Coach Y.
Okay.
They call me TY.
Okay.
Some of them calling me Bowling Y.
Oh, that's a new one.
Oh, yeah,
That's
we
a
throwing
new
them
one.
down. But Coach Y here, holding it down with your big head.
Okay. And I am your host right here. My main man, James, couldn't be here today, so I'm going to hold it down for him. You got Vince Pollard, a.k.a. Boss Man, Big Heavy, Boss Hog, Breaking News.
Keep going.
You want me to keep going?
I know
Yeah, I'm
you
gonna shut it down. 'Cause we gotta get to our guest today, man. We got a special guest in the building. This has been in the making for about 3 years now. We've been talking about this.
Oh, yeah, this moment. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
State your name, player.
Creston Coleman. Creston Fitzgerald Coleman, actually.
Fitzgerald.
Yeah,
Okay.
Fitzgerald.
Okay. We
Right.
getting it. We getting the
Yeah,
government.
yeah, you getting the gov. You get the exclusive. You guys get the exclusive.
We really appreciate that.
No
Man,
problem.
we want to welcome you to Beyond the Lanes, man. We want people to understand what we doing is for the city. It's not just for the orange and black. This is for the city. And I appreciate you giving us this opportunity. We're going to get into what exactly are we here to do today, my man?
Well, we're here to, to discuss, a few things, the weekend, what's to come.
Okay.
Here, Friday, starting Friday,
Okay.
July 20th. It's going to be we're going to be kicking off the 4th annual Manual High School all-class reunion. Like you said, but this is a community event, and it's going to be a three-day event,
Okay.
starting on Friday and ending on Sunday.
Okay. What type of festivities we got to look forward to starting off on Friday?
Starting off on Friday, we're going to have a fish fry.
Okay.
It's going to be located at 415 Northeast Jefferson.
Okay.
Saturday, we're going to the world premiere. Orange and Black Beneath the Numbers is going to be
Oh, yeah,
released.
speak right there to that camera. We want to make sure that they know exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, talk to them.
Okay.
Talk to them.
So Friday we're gonna do the fish fry at 415 Northeast Jefferson here in Peoria, Illinois. Saturday we're going to do the world premiere, and when I say the world premiere, this will be the first time ever that this highly anticipated sports film, documentary film, Orange and Black Beneath the Numbers, will be released and seen by the public. And we're going to follow up with that with the official party here at Landmarks Recreation. And then Sunday, the grand finale will be the barbecue, cookout, tailgate at Glen Oak Park on Sunday.
Okay. So we got a lot of festivities in line now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take it back to the actual meat and potatoes of this.
Mm-hmm.
What made you do this?
I'm glad you asked that because I'm gonna give it to you exclusively.
Okay.
The real story.
That's what we're here
the
for.
real story.
That's what we're here for.
The real story.
Okay.
I was staying in Dallas, Texas, and I had a night out, a good night out.
Okay.
All right.
And I was coming on down the highway by myself like I usually do, going home. And I said, I'm not finna go to sleep. I said, I'm finna watch an old Manual game. Went to YouTube, watched the Manual game. I think it was the 88 team. And when they called the starting lineup, I knew 4 out of the 5 people.
Okay.
And that bothered me.
Okay.
That 5th person, when they called this name, Sean Williams, I said, who in that is Sean Williams? So I sat there and I said, if I don't know who he is, and I consider myself a diehard Ram, I said, imagine who don't know who we is, and imagine who don't know our story.
Okay.
And I said, I'm doing a documentary. And this hit me like a ton of bricks about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
What do you remember the date? that was?
Oh, well, you no, I don't remember that date.
But it was after being out.
It was after being out.
You said you wanted to watch the game.
I
and
wanted
then
to
all
watch
of
a
sudden
game.
You saw Sean Williams. You was like, who
Sean
is this?
Williams, who is this?
Sean was a ball.
He was a ball.
I heard.
Yeah, he was a beast.
I heard.
He called
Rebound.
my team Central
Yeah.
Fitz.
Yes, rebound,
Yeah,
play around the
rebound.
rim.
Man, yeah.
Was one of
Athletic,
those
yeah.
utility players
Yes.
that had game.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And then when I did my research, asking about him, I learned how great he was. So now that led me to think about Frankie Welch
Okay.
and other players. You know, so I said, yeah, it's official. The first one I called the next morning was Brandon Hughes.
Okay.
B. Hughes.
Yep, and
Shout out to B. Hughes.
Yep, and he was like, "Man, Crest, do it," and I just started working on it ever since then, nonstop.
Can you talk about some of the trials and tribulations to get to this point? You know, did you have a, you know, you always gonna have people say, it's not a good look, you shouldn't do it or whatever. What was give me the time that was one of the turning points where, you know, you might have had a pitfall and said, you know what, let's scrap it. I'm not gonna go through with it. And then, but you got back on the trail of continuing your journey.
I started off with a cameraman
Okay.
here in Peoria. I wanted to go all Peoria.
Okay.
Peoria everything.
Right.
And I started off with the cameraman from Peoria, and it just didn't work out.
Okay.
And this
things
was
just
after,
don't, you know, it happens. It happens.
and it did. It did.
happens.
And from the time we started, and it just wasn't a good fit.
Okay.
And I was like, now I had advertised for help for cameraman, and it was only 2 people that responded. One person, it just wasn't a fit.
Okay.
The first person I thought it was, but it ended up not being a good fit. I said, I'm screwed. I don't know how to run the camera. What do I do?
Right.
And at that moment, if I be honest, I didn't know if it was going to happen.
Okay.
I didn't know if it was going to happen at that moment. Yeah. Didn't know.
So, and I don't want to. We don't want to really get into the, you know, the documentary that much right now. Is there some of the? Can you share some of the stories of some of the people you talked to? Like, give us, you know, since we're doing exclusives.
Sure.
Give us a, you know, someone that you interviewed that you didn't expect to get. Is that too much?
No, it's not.
Okay, if that's
it's
too
not.
much, we go.
It's
I
not.
don't want to give up too much. You know,
It's not. I'm gonna give it to you.
Okay.
All right.
I went out on a limb
Okay.
to get Coach Floyd Irons from St. Louis Vashon.
He's legendary people
Yeah.
on that one. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sean, all right.
Yep. And he will be here in attendance on Saturday. He will be present.
That's nice.
Yep. He will be present.
There we have it.
Yeah.
There we have it. You know, 'cause, you know, I've been able to, you know, talk to you about some of it, so I'm not gonna say some of the other exclusive things that you talked about. We would definitely want the people to come out, pay tribute to the movie. Let's talk about these Manual Central rivalries. That's what everybody want to know. Okay, we're gonna start.
Yeah,
in
let
the
me take a sip.
yeah. Because we got somebody that was in it, you know, that can really speak on how intense these rivalry was. Besides yourself, now we're gonna go generations here. Cause we in two different generations
Yeah, we
now.
two different.
You know, so we gonna see what the difference was when you played, Coach, versus what you saw when the young gun played. So can you talk about that a little bit, Coach?
Yeah, I mean, you know, back when we were playing, and again, we're talking about the 80s. One of my first, and this, both of these guys are good friends of mine, but one of my first Manual Central games was in '79, and Gus Mason had a dunk on Eric Cameron at Central.
I was at that game.
And it blew me away because I had never seen anything like that. You know, was it the best dunk ever? No, it was just the atmosphere of the Manual Central game. And that is where I got my start because I remember the atmosphere, the tension in the air, and I was just a shorty. But I knew this was important. And from that point on, again, that was one of those focal points. But from that point on, me being a freshman and then a sophomore, playing in the sophomore game, and any of our sophomore games against all these other teams we were playing, you didn't have a crowd.
Right.
You may have something that built up to a crowd if it was Central, Richwoods. But for the Manual Central game, I remember this vividly because we played the game and 51-50 is the score. And this is a name back in the day, Brian Gaines.
Big games.
Brian Gaines, who played sophomore against me, ripped me at half court. Now, again, this is a crowd level that I had never seen because they're coming for the big game.
Right.
But now they're in front of us. He rips me, and Lord willing, I was able to rip him back. So it was, he got me, and before he could get going, I came behind, got it back, and we ended up winning the game. That feeling, again, in that atmosphere, I was like, this is it. This is where you want to be at.
Right.
And I remember watching the next games, and I was part of that. The difference, and Creston, you might be able to speak on this. Now, these guys hang out and are friends. You might see them on social media, hanging out, partners. Bottom line, we didn't like Manual didn't like us.
There you go.
There was no hanging out at the mall. There was no let's go double date.
Right.
And hang out. None of that. I didn't like Estelle Russell. Estelle Russell didn't like me. I didn't like Al Alexander. Al didn't like me. And that's just what it was. Yeah. So when we was out there playing, that wasn't fake. That's real.
That's real.
We trying to win. We trying to take their throat. They trying to take ours. And the funniest thing about that, as you get older and you out of that element, you still have that Manual Central scenario.
Oh, yeah, right.
But Aaron Kelly is one of my best friends. Good friend of mine. Al is one of my best friends, if you will. These guys I've known and I've worked with in, Mitchell J.J. Anderson basketball camp, a.k.a. stayed over at my house. He became real good friends with my brother. That's how I really got to know him. Played church league together. So those are the things that happened afterwards. But when we were there, I remember we went down to Manual my junior year, AK's senior year. We won at Central. They beat us at Manual, and AK hit a shot, and Ivan Stone was coming down the court. And I remember AKA playing to the crowd because he made the shot. He hollering at the crowd and doing all kind of stuff. And, he playing the role, but it was serious. He was trying to win.
Yeah.
And then we ended up playing at the field house.
Because it was always a 3-game.
And the big game was always, if you winning, you will meet at the field house.
Right.
And Bradley Fieldhouse was the spot. Yeah. And my junior year, we had a very good team. Manual had a very good team. And we won one game, they won one. Here we go meet at the field house to go to super sectionals to then go to state. First half, close game. Everything was close, we're going at it. We had just played double overtime. We beat Richwoods that year, who had Doug Altenberg.
Yeah.
The next game we played Doug Lee, Washington, double overtime. Then we had to play Manual. You can't run out of gas.
That's what I was gonna say. I know that gas ran out.
Yeah, we ran out of gas.
Yeah, it had to.
And Manual was full of gas, and me and Al have an iconic picture where Al is dribbling the ball, and I'm trying to get to the ball, and Al putting on the brakes. And as he's putting on the brakes, I'm flying past him. But you have that picture. Me and Al look at that picture whenever we talk. We look at that picture. Manual beat us by 20 at the field house.
Wow.
And then they won their next game, went downstate. That was our motivation for the following year. And we did the same. But that year, and again, I'm gonna say it. It was Brian Watson, good friends. Tony Gully, rest in peace, my man. We are good friends as that was, but during that time frame, no. Matter of fact, me and Tony made the IBCA All-Star game. He gave me a ride up to Bradley for the game. And again, that's what I'm talking about. When we were playing, man, I ain't got no ride for you. I walk.
But immediately after.
Yeah, but we're not gonna be together.
Okay. Well, we're going to stop right there. We're going to take a break for a quick second, and we'll be right back here in just a few minutes. Stay tuned. We got more. Thank you for tuning back in with Beyond the Lanes here with our special guest, Mr. Creston.
Fitzgerald. Fitz.
Let me get that F in there. Fitzgerald. Coleman is with us here today talking about the Orange and Black documentary that's coming out this Saturday. Please support this documentary. It's not just for Manual, it's for the city. So as we were leaving the break, Coach Wyatt was telling us some of the intense battles he had back in 83?
Yeah,
83?
We're talking 82, 83
83 season. We're gonna go up some generations here.
Hey, we need to.
Because I want Creston to tell me, I watched you play. I know for me, it was the same energy as Coach Watt. Do you feel that same intensity and energy was the same when you played some of the guys at Central? Did y'all carry that torch like that, or was it a little bit more, downplayed?
No. I'll just put it like this. 8th grade, me and Jarence Howard, he went to Roosevelt. I went to Blaine.
Okay.
We played in the championship game. Me and Jarence became good friends over the summer. He go wherever he go, I go wherever I go, he go.
Okay.
We talked for the first week. He went to Central, I went to Manual.
Okay.
We talked for the first week of school.
Okay.
Maybe the second week.
Right.
After that, I didn't speak to Jarence again until we was out of high school.
I believe that.
That's okay.
didn't speak to me.
But that's
Okay.
a rivalry.
But that's
Yeah. Kevin Butler, know him since we was little kids.
KB.
Me and Kevin didn't talk at all in high school. When Kevin went over to ICC and played his freshman year, I was a senior.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that summer, him going to his freshman year, that was going into my senior year. Kevin was rolling past the Village Green, and I jumped in the car with Kevin, and that's when we picked up off from 3rd or 4th grade.
Wow.
But we didn't talk during high school.
That's what these young men don't understand.
This is great.
That is a rivalry.
It's too friendly. It's too
Yeah,
friendly.
yeah.
In my opinion, it's too friendly, but again, it's a different era.
Yeah.
It's, social media and all that other stuff is different.
Yeah.
But what you're talking about that's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
So
That's nice.
So going forth, getting back into the documentary. I know you have some special guests that's going to help you get this. Can we talk about the ticket prices? Can you still get tickets? How are we doing this, purchasing?
There's a $55 donation, and that donation is going to help Performing Open Hearts. which is a non-for-profit organization that I run, is going to help us propel our Help and Recover program. And Help and Recover is a program where we're going to support the ex-athletes in transitioning from the game until life, and also support the athletes that's playing right now. Support them. And that $55 may be a lot for some, but you're paying for an experience.
Absolutely.
If anybody ever wanted to be part of a world premiere, walk the red carpet, stop and take the pictures,
This is it.
get the interviews.
This is it.
This is it.
Okay.
This is it. So pretty much, we're bringing Hollywood to Peoria.
Right.
This weekend, this Saturday. So, and that's what that $55 is going to do. Is going to get you that experience. And when it's also, we're going to provide finger foods, a pre-social hour. We're going to have anything you have at a movie show when you go see a movie. Your popcorn, your M&Ms, your sneakers, your sodas, your waters.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what comes along. That's the package.
Okay. Can people look to donate after the event? Can they still be part of the Open Hearts?
Yes, you can always donate. Our website right now is under construction.
All right.
Okay. But soon that's going to be up and running here soon. But we're always welcome donations. Because it simply helps donations and sponsorship. And while I must add, while we're at it, speaking of sponsorships, I would definitely like to thank Discover Peoria and also the city of Peoria for making this weekend a signature event and making this weekend possible.
Man, that's nice.
That's good. That's cool. So, talk to me like after this is being seen, will people be able to purchase this from a DVD standpoint, as a collector's keepsake? How can they view this again?
That's the good thing about this release, just as like this interview, it's exclusive. I can't guarantee your eyes ever see this film again. I can't guarantee you that. This is something that I'll never do again publicly. Whatever happens after that. But I just can't guarantee. I know I won't show it. This is one time.
So you need to be there.
Pretty much,
Who needs to be there if you want to be a part of the experience?
If you want to be a part of this experience and see this, we have to say the most highly anticipated film that we're aware of that exists probably since Hoop Dreams.
Good point. Ooh, that's a great segue right there.
Yeah, and I've already publicly went out on a limb and told people, if you like Hoop Dreams, you'll love this, because this is at least 3 to 4 times better. Because if you look at Hoop Dreams, why it resonated with the city of Peoria with us so much, because we was in it.
Right.
And just think about the small segment that we had in it.
Okay.
Now, this is not the small segment. We got the whole segment.
Exactly.
So it's safe to say there's not going to be a part 2.
No, there's not going to be a part 2.
You got it all out.
I got it. There's more to the story. I couldn't get everything.
Okay.
But honestly, what I want to do is everything that I collected for my process of doing what I did.
Okay.
And I did a recipe to it too. Everybody will see it if you watch it. I left room for more history to happen, and also I left room for somebody else to come behind me and
it's in front of that.
Continue on with the story.
Okay, so let me ask you this: how can we talk about real quick? How far was you able to go back with the history?
1909.
Say that again. I thought he said 1909.
1909. When Manuel wasn't even. Where's that right now?
So you went back. Now I'm a history buff. So
yeah, I know.
I'm loving that.
I know.
So 1909. You're talking about Manual High School, or you're talking about Manual sports basketball in 1909?
Neither.
Okay.
I'm talking about Manual Training High School.
Okay.
All right.
So
Did I get you?
Yeah, you hit me.
You hit him hard
Okay.
because he is the history buff.
Oh, I love it.
We went. So I gotta ask, because I gotta stick on this point. I just don't think you can show it one time. with everything that's going on, there has to be a way, because somebody Big Brother might come calling and say we need the rights to this.
Big Brother?
Big Brother might call. Big Brother might call. You
Who's
know,
Big
this-
Brother?
Big
Don't
Brother.
worry, they listening.
They listening. They
They
listening.
always do.
Okay.
Time
okay.
Warner, Universal.
You never know.
You know,
Okay,
we talking now.
Okay.
What's it gonna take to get this exclusive out to the masses? Because everybody can't be here. We understand everybody can't be here. So it's almost a discourage of not being able to show the public league what we about.
True. True.
So I'm just saying, please leave it open for however we can, you know, if we need to raise more money to help get this on some type of disc, or, you know, YouTube release, the residuals will come. I'm a firm believer in that. From the views. The views, you know, they give money. They get money for views. So I'm saying at this point, I would definitely not close that door for and let's say everybody got a price.
Well, it sounded as if,
everybody.
have it sound as if your foot done held the door open.
I did.
So I don't think it's gonna be able to close right now. With that being said, Creston, again, I'm that history buff. Who was the coach before Coach Van Syak? Because I've only known Coach Syak and then Coach Wayne.
Okay.
And then I know Tony Johnson. Coach Johnson was in there
It
for
was-
a little bit.
It was a few. Those coaches, they really just don't jump out to me.
Okay.
To be honest with you, because my strategy that I used of what I wanted to highlight.
Okay.
But I can say the coach in 1930, the first won the first championship. His name was Coach Telford.
First championship.
First championship.
How many?
One. 1930.
That was a. You gonna have me going back,
1930.
looking up information that.
Yeah.
He gonna do some homework.
And it's interesting how he fell in manual lap.
Okay. But no,
He
that,
just-
stop.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
Don't give it away.
Yeah,
Don't give it away.
yeah.
No, I like that. I like that.
Okay. So, yeah.
So I know it's very disheartening that Coach McClain can't see this. But he watching. What would you say to him right now as far as the journey and the relationship you've had with him throughout your life?
Man, when I was in high school, I didn't think that me and Coach McClain had the best relationship, so to speak.
Okay.
And I didn't think he liked me. As I got older, I found out that he loved me. I found out that when a coach is hard on you,
There's a reason.
it's a reason, and it's only one reason. He trying to get something out of you that he know you got in you,
Yep.
that you don't even know what you got. So, what I would say to him is, man, and I got a chance to tell him this before he died.
Okay.
Man, thank you. I just didn't understand. But he prepared me literally for this moment. You know, because out of all the players, you think about it, out of all the players, right, Creston Coleman. And I'll be honest with y'all, you know, for years it bothered me that I didn't play in the championship game in 1997.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't for me. That wasn't for my moment. That wasn't my moment. That wasn't my time.
Right.
He knew that my time would be.
He had something bigger. He had something bigger for you. Okay.
That's it, man.
Yeah. You know, interesting enough, that scenario happens a lot because, you know, what I've told kids over the years, when I quit talking to you, that's when you got a problem.
Yeah.
Don't get mad because I'm on your case about you not boxing out or not going to class, and I'm on you and making you do these bear crawls. And R.I.P. to my man, Coach Dixon, because he's the one that got that started with the bear crawls and disciplining guys to do the right thing. But when I just say, all right, I'm good, now you got a problem. Because then you have told me everything I'm trying to do to help you, you just not accepting. And so, Coach McClain, through all the years, the things I've heard from other players and the way he used to, Clint Ford used to tell me about all the times that he would be up at 5 a.m. and working on his game and running, weight jacking, and all these other things. But Clint Ford, a lot of people don't know, the best big man footwork in the city of Peoria, and I'm going to put it on tape, if you will.
Put it on tape.
Ever.
Stamp it.
Ever. Best big man footwork in the city of Peoria ever.
Who will argue with that?
Can't. Because the guys that know basketball know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Clint talked about what Wayne used to do for him. Sergio, his son, talked about, Dad used to always be hard on him, but he knew what I could be. And that's what coaches do. Again, Creston, as much as everything you're doing now, in your way, you coaching. You trying to help build, show, and do, and you never gave up. Notice who you didn't give up on. Yourself. So you kept pushing. And we've talked. We've talked.
You're right.
We had conversations.
We
Do
did.
you remember what I told you?
We did.
You coaching all the time. You just a lot of people just don't realize that, but you coaching all the time.
Yeah.
Because I always tell it's levels to everything. No matter where you at and what you're doing, there's always levels to everything. And I remember when we talked and you was telling me how tough it is and doing, I was like, I need to keep grinding. You doing something that's special. Keep grinding with it. So, amen. And congrats, keep it going.
Yes.
Thank you.
Heavy than I told you, it's foot in the door, so you can't close it.
That's what I do. That's what I Coach No.
Hey,
Coach
whatever
No.
it
I'm
takes.
like, listen, man, look, you know, he be like, no, we're not gonna do this. Look, we can do it. It might cost us this, might cost us that. But before we go and get out of here, my dad, your dad, good friends. My dad always told me, you play baseball. You was good at baseball. You and your brother. How good at baseball was you?
Great. Great.
No, wait a minute, Heavy, hold up.
Yeah, because coach,
Great.
just coach, you didn't know this. See,
Wait,
this is,
wait.
Yeah.
I know about you too, but great.
I just want to see if you
Breathe in.
recognize.
Yeah,
No, I want to see if you
yeah,
recognize.
yeah,
You know, I'm a sit back now.
I know about
Sit
you.
back.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that, bro.
Yeah.
This how great, man. This how great I was. When Manuel shut down their little league after Brandon, Willie, Corlin, all them had left. Manuel little league was just dismantled. My dad took me up to West Peoria, and I was the only black boy up there that played in that baseball league up in West Peoria.
Okay.
And man, I remember, no lie, man. You know, a lot of people don't know, but this is exclusive.
That's how we do it.
And I'm gonna give it to y'all.
Dropping jewels.
You have an exclusive
Man,
name.
this is exclusive, man.
We'll call you
My
exclusive. Fitz.
a lot of people don't know that my father was addicted to crack. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I remember he said one time he came to my game up in West Peoria,
Right.
he was hot. And he seen me throw a no-hitter. Yeah.
Wait.
I was tough.
You said you threw a no hit.
A no-hitter. A no-hitter. Now, I remember that game.
I'm about that. My bad.
So I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
One of my good friends, Brian Tremmel, shout out to Brian Tremmel, told me about you as well.
Hey, Brian played with
Tremmel,
Coleman
he
and
played, yes.
all
He
them,
said,
yeah.
listen, he said, Heavy, you don't understand. If they would have just stuck with it, man, they just didn't, they basketball grabbed them, coach grabbed them, and he said they left me.
Yep. Everybody quit playing except for Coleman.
Except for Cortland.
Yeah.
He told me the story, man. So as the generations go, believe me, my brother, I've done research on you.
I see.
I've done my research. I did my due diligence to know to when we get to this point, I could actually bring that up and talk to you about baseball.
Yeah. He was on the money. You know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I played baseball. I didn't play baseball like that. I thought I had something. But no,
You did, from what I heard.
Okay. So we're gonna wrap it up, man. Thanks everybody for tuning in once again, Beyond the Lanes, for the exclusive interview we've had here. We want to take this last second. Is there any shout outs you want to give out for making this day possible for you?
Yes. I want to first shout out to my cousin Tanya Williams, who's been with me through the roughest time in this process.
Okay.
She's been my everything. She's protected me. She's looked out for me. She's been my personal assistant. She's made phone calls for me. She's Miss Auxiliary.
Okay.
Mrs. Talina Wade, who's been spearheading the premiere, doing all the designs and the creation, and she's going to bring that experience here. And I also want to once again thank Discover Peoria and the city of Peoria for playing a major role in making everything possible. And this should have been first. Thank you, God, for being my light.
Right.
When I didn't even see what was in front of me. And he got me sitting right here, and us following up on a promise we made a couple of years ago. Me following up from a rough conversation that we had a couple of years ago. Man, God is great.
Bringing us to this point.
Yeah.
So we want to shout out Landmark Lanes for being the host here and letting us use the lanes once again. Single day t-shirts and custombowlingjerseys.com. We hope you've enjoyed this exclusive interview that we had here on the podcast today. Saturday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 days of festivities going. Let's make it happen, Peoria. Come support. Thank you.